Hi, welcome to the Weekly Presser with Coach Dr. Alvin Parker of the VUU football team. Today, this week is the big game, Virginia Union and Virginia State at Hovey Field on Saturday. Coach, last week, 57-12 win over Bluefield State, and we had 6 rushing touchdowns, but we also did great passing. Can you tell us a little bit about the game?
It was a overall great game. I thought we did some good things on special teams as well. The defense did what they normally do. Held those guys to negative yards rushing, and the offense put up, a few touchdowns. So it was a pretty good day. It was a new place for us. It was a beautiful place at that. We liked it when we went up there, but it was all pretty much our entire team's first time ever traveling up there. So it was something different, and just was a good chance to see what they had to offer up there. So hey, it was a good one to check off and put under the belt and focus on this week.
All right, we're going to open the Zoom call up to questions. Do we have Benita? Why don't you go first?
Coach, I think most people thought the last week of the season was going to come down to this. And I know coaches say you take one game at a time, but talk about just leading up to this week and the atmosphere and everything, knowing that the winner this weekend wins the division.
I think, Benita, we tried to take it like that, for the last, 5 or so weeks, just making sure that we focused on the games that we did have, at the time. But, it was kind of tough to block out what this one could possibly mean. Everybody kept on bringing it up, and it was just like, something that was kind of in the back of our minds that we knew, it could get down to this point, So, again, it's a big-time rivalry, but we're going into this week like any other week, like we have the last few, just making sure that we're fully prepared. We're doing everything we're supposed to do. It's going to be a lot of hype surrounding. There's going to be a lot of people there. It wasn't one game that I played at back when I played in the late 90s that, this Virginia Union and Virginia State game didn't mean a thing. It always meant something. It was always a packed house. It always was a lot, build up during the week. So, but my job is to make sure that we're ready. Like I said, everybody know what this game means, and everybody know what's at stake. But it's my job to make sure as a team we'll be ready to go into this game.
Coach, let me ask you a little bit about your quarterback, Christian Reed. It's the last couple of games against Bluefield and against Lincoln before that. I just it seems like you're throwing the football a little more. He's probably throwing the football a little better. Can you just talk a little bit about him and his improvement?
We already kind of knew he was good at what he's doing. He's playing the best in the league to me. I could be a little biased in that just in terms because I coach him on a daily basis, but he's playing, extraordinary. He's taking care of the football. He's throwing the football to the right person. He's managing and moving the offense. More so than anything else. He's not one of those kids that kind of get caught up in the stats and the hype. He's just one of those guys that kind of goes out there and play. And we have 2 guys like that. Which is pretty much why everybody kind of seen both of them pretty much all season, but his efficiency the last few weeks has been off the charts, so just kind of to have that, like I say, somebody that can move the offense like he's done, and been able to kind of, do it in a variety of ways. He's done some things with his feet, his arms, his brain, just kind of doing all of those type of things to kind of help the offense move. So I'm proud of him.
But by the same token, Coach, because your running game is the best in the conference and you guys lead the league in rushing per game, have you seen that teams are like packing the box a little more to stop the running game, and therefore it opens up the passing lanes for Christian?
Yeah, it's been kind of like that since I've been here, almost, so to speak. We've relied on the run, and people just kind of load the box and do some different things like that. But I think you have to be ready for those type of things. Which when I said kind of early, you got to make sure your guys prepared, for something like that happening. So on a week in, week out basis, we'll see some things close to that. But, it's our job to make sure we got, our team prepared, not just necessarily Christian, but, everybody on offense prepared for when we get those different type of situations to be able to go into the game and handle
them. Coach, if I can ask you a little bit about Reggie Vic. I know he doesn't catch a lot of balls necessarily, but at least in the last 2 games, he has tremendous big play ability. Talk a little bit about him and what he adds.
RJ is a freshman, redshirt freshman. So from down there from the Raleigh area, so he's special. You've seen the 2 plays he made the last couple of weeks. That when he get it, he goes. So I'm happy with the way he's playing. He's made big time catches all season. Like when he gets an opportunity, he makes the catch or he makes a play. So those 2 plays the last 2 weeks have been just huge plays. Third down on one of them, I believe, and I think both of them probably were third down plays he made. He just, right place, right time, catch it, make something happen. So, he's one of those guys, you don't get much words out of. You don't get a lot of, he just kind of lines down the plays. So, I'm happy with his play the last few weeks. I'm happy with his play the whole season. It's like, he's taking advantage of his opportunities.
Coach, you had 2 players named CIAA Players of the Week. Justin Meade, 2nd week in a row that he won it. And then also Saeed Sidibe, for the first time this season, was named Receiver of the Week. Can you comment a little bit on that?
Yes, Sidibe was off the charts on Saturday. I think he had about 8 catches for about 160, 170 yards. That another one of those guys that have explosive ability. Our receivers have been kind of canned up all season because, like you said, we run the ball so well. But those guys have the best playmaking ability in the league to me. And I think everybody's been able to see that. But, in terms of what we've been doing offensively and having some success at, those guys have just waited their turns as a group. Sidibe being one of them. I think he like the catalyst of that group in terms of making plays and doing some other things. So, this weekend he got to show it. He even had a rushing touchdown this past weekend. We talked about running the ball and rushing the ball, along with that 170 or so passing receiving yards. So, I was happy with the way Saeed played. And, I'm expecting a big game out of him this weekend.
What do you see from Virginia State, Coach, when you look at them?
I think they're a good ball club. They're extremely good. You see a lot of things. They have extremely good size, extremely good speed. They're athletic at a lot of the positions. They're physical. A lot of things that you'll see a team that's 8-1 have. They have a lot of the things like we have, I think. So I think they're well coached. I think Coach Frazier and his staff does a great job down there. And their record is showing what type of ball club they are. So we're expecting a tough physical game on Saturday.
Coach, the CIAA and SIAC we have a new bowl game this year. Have you thought anything about that, or are you just trying to get to the championship game and let the cards fall where they may?
I did read up a little bit on the game to kind of see, what the ins and outs of it was, and it looked like it's something that's going to be pretty interesting. I think the more teams that the CIAA can get in the postseason, whether it be playoffs or the bowl game, is good for everybody. It's good for all the schools. So I think the way it's kind of interesting and to kind of see how it's going to happen, the way that the teams are going to be selected and things like that. So I'm kind of waiting for that, Benita. I don't know how that's going to kind of pan out. Because it's not like a clear out rule on who gets it. But I think our first goal is division, second goal is championship. And then after that, we'll just kind of let the chips fall where they may, whether it be playoffs, bowl game or something like that. But I think it's extremely interesting, how that's going to work. Anytime, like I said, you can put something together, that's student athlete driven to kind of give these guys another chance to play, for any school. I think it's going to be something good.
Thank you, Coach.
Are there any more questions for Coach?
I think we're good. Coach, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
I'd like to remind everybody who's listening that you can still buy tickets for the VUU Virginia State game by going to VUUsports.com and clicking on the splash page image that comes up when you log on. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Appreciate it.